let's queer up politics. Florida's largest newspaper fears 3 more years under wounded grudge-bearing Ron DeSantis, sorry.
Don't bring me in here.
I'm like, why am I saying sorry? Anyway, Florida's largest newspaper, the Miami Herald, has a scathing new op-ed from its editorial board. It paints a vivid picture of the next 3 years in Florida under Governor Ron DeSantis. Having bowed out of the Republican presidential race, DeSantis, despite a perceived lackluster campaign, still holds nearly 3 years of gubernatorial control. The op-ed suggests that what awaits Floridians is a chilling prospect. A leader driven by insecurities, poised for vengeance and power. The editorial board is particularly troubled by DeSantis' recent display of strength on social media, responding to a Politico headline regarding a proposed bill that would burden taxpayers to help pay for former President Donald Trump's multiple legal battles. While the editorial board acknowledges the right decision to reject the ludicrous bill, their concern lies in DeSantis' motivations as he takes a step towards revenge politics. The governor's muscle flexing extends beyond policy, reaching into political maneuvering against those who challenge him. His power play also targeted Florida Chief Financial Officer Jimmy Patronis, who supported the bill and publicly sided with Trump in the presidential race. DeSantis' capacity to hold on to a grudge is no secret. His urge for settling scores is widely recognized in Florida, with Disney serving as a notable illustration. The editorial board suggested that Florida now grapples with a wounded, grudge-bearing governor who is determined to assert dominance. He is seeking revenge for the recent defeat, leaving Floridians in the crosshairs of a chaotic political landscape. Well, so don't get me started on Ron DeSantis, but I think it's definitely upsetting and chilling to think that we have almost 3 more years under him. If nothing, he's shown that, we could hope maybe that with the presidential race out of reach for him, that some of his more extreme actions and goals might be reduced, because we know he was definitely trying to appeal to a certain base. But I know, I'm not that hopeful. He's definitely shown us who he is, and unfortunately a lot of Floridians have also shown us who they are. But I think what's really the shame here is so few people are registered to vote. And regardless of how you feel about, the upcoming presidential election, local politics are still incredibly important to our everyday lives.
Yeah, and he's going to come back. He's coming back. He's angry. He's put off. But I want to bring back a clip from this script that you just read. A leader driven by insecurities, poised for vengeance and power. You could take out DeSantis and replace it with the word Trump. Because look at all the influence Trump has had. And he hasn't even had a legitimate political platform for the last 3 years. Yeah. And he's been able to continue to be a traitor to this country, which he has been since January 6th at a minimum.
Right.
But the fact is, he gave us Ron DeSantis. He endorsed him back in 2018, and then he got to stomp on him. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, let's face it. But the difference is DeSantis is going to have a platform, a very legal platform to do essentially whatever he wants for the next 3 years. I mean, hopefully in the midterm, the Florida midterms, which is this election, we'll be able to pick up some seats and check the power of the GOP supermajority. But other than that, we are DeSantis's here to be consumed.
Yeah.
He's going to sit up there and tell us, because who does he pick fights with? Let's see. Disney, the most powerful entertainment corporation in the world. Yeah. Broward County. I mean, we are a huge population, and we have millions of tourists that come through Dade, Palm Beaches, and Broward every year. That's who he's hurting, and he doesn't care who he hurts from now on. And a warning: he's only in his 40s,
and people
he can come
love
back.
him. People love him in Florida. It is frightening. I mean, I've only lived in Florida for a year and a half now.
Right.
And I know how much people love him.
Well, they don't love him enough because they don't love him more than Trump.
Not where we are, which thank God above.
Yeah.
But I agree they don't love him more than Trump. But I think that full-fledged Floridians who have been with him, the stuff I hear, even my cousins who claim to love me, but they vote for every red Republican they can, they speak so highly of what Ron DeSantis has done for Florida. That is the most popular sentence I think I've heard since moving to Florida. He may not be the right president, might not be the right run for president, but he's done so much for us in Florida, end quote. I've heard that so many times.
Yeah, tell that to the 90%
Right.
of transgender people,
Right.
youth and adults who are
Yeah.
either considering
Oh,
or
no, I hear
planning
ya.
to leave the state.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is scary, scary, scary news. Scary time.
And remember, Richard Nixon lost his first bid for president and came back and revisited his nightmare on America. Ronald Reagan lost the Republican nomination in 1976 and came back to give us 12 years of Reagan-Bush, trickle-down economics, take whatever's left over and be grateful to get it.
Yeah.
So Ron DeSantis may be gone for now, but we need to keep an eye on him.
Yeah.
We need to make sure he is politically knocked out over these next 3 years, because if he goes up and gets a Senate seat in 26, then we're never getting rid of him.